1848, the average wage was $1 per day. Few dreams came true on so little. Then word came from California, gold was everywhere. Story after story confirmed that fools were not those who went, but rather those who stayed behind.
Order. Order, please. For those of you who do not know me, I am J. Goldsboro Bruff. But I recognize many of you, some of Washington's best. And that's important, because this trip will be dangerous, and some will not return. Now, this is my plan. We shall organize ourselves as a military unit with proper uniform, the Washington City and California Gold Mining Association. We will train here in Washington all winter, send a committee to Pittsburgh in March for supplies and wagons, leave here April 1st, and St. Joseph, Missouri, May 1st. With a little bit of luck, we'll arrive in California in 4 months, mine for 8, and then return here in 16, each of us carrying a pocket full of rocks. Now, I've also done some figuring about expenses and potential problems. Sir, how much can you afford to spend on this journey? It sounds like you're going to need a sponsor. I estimate that the cost of this journey be $400 a person. That includes travel to St. Joe, supplies, wagons, teams, everything except personal effects. And you, sir, what are you going to do about what the newspapers are calling the Indian menace? Well, according to Joseph Ware, in his book, The Immigrant's Guide to California, a Bowie knife, 2 pistols, a rifle, and an axe should cover most emergencies. Should we hire a guide? It means an additional expense. Mules or oxen? Why? Well, remember this. If things go terribly wrong, what is an ox? A walking stake. You, sir, what rules do you suggest? And more importantly, how will you enforce them? Now, that's something that should be decided here, not on the road. Madam, I sense some doubt. Are you worried about a father, a brother, a boyfriend, maybe? Now, you're still young. If you could do anything you want with your life, what would you do? Travel, education, what? And how will you pay for it? If your parents are rich, they will demand you do it their way on their terms, and if poor, your dreams will remain dreams. Sir, are you married? Ha! Then what have you got to lose? This land was settled by a people who, by definition, could not settle. They move west the way birds fly south. It's in the blood. West we came, and west we'll go for ourselves, our families, and America.
J. Goldsboro Bruff worked for the United States Army Bureau of Topographical Engineers as a cartographer. His job and the reports from California inspired him to risk everything and head west. He captained a group of similar thinking Argonauts, hoping for adventure and a better life thanks to this California gold. In this interactive play, the audience repeats this same journey of 1849.
I called this meeting for one reason: discipline. Why were you two not posting guard last night? Well, whatever your excuse, this morning 2 mules are missing. And whether they were stolen or simply wandered off, the root cause is the same: negligence. Oh, yes, I've heard the grumbling. Since you've seen no signs of Indians, why should anyone have to stand guard? Well, forgive me for restating the obvious, but thieves with a red or white rarely send calling cards. Diligence is even more important when there are no signs of danger. When you signed up to be part of this company, you agreed to certain rules. 1, we would rest on Sunday whenever possible. 2, no drunken behavior or vulgar language. And 3, I was to be obeyed as captain. Well, as your captain, I ordered you to stand guard. If you have trouble with my leadership, elect another. But believe me, no one can lead anyone if discomfort justifies disobedience. Now, as you know, we've come to South Pass, the backbone of Uncle Sam. Soon you must make a decision whether to follow the road to Fort Bridger or take Sublet's Cutoff. The first follows a river. The second cuts through the most barren land we've yet to face. The first is easy. The second requires discipline, but could save us as much as 10 days. Now, this must be your decision. Do we take the hard, fast route or the slow and easy? Let's have a discussion. And now let's take a vote. How many say the hard, fast route? Raise your hands. How many say slow and easy? Okay, we will take the hard, fast route. For those of you who still disagree, I no longer wish to hear about it. You had your chance to speak. Now join the majority.
45 miles from the end of the trail, Bruff became too ill to continue. He called one last company meeting.
Men, I lied. I said there were no more choices to make. I lied because at this point, survival itself is a choice. This one, do we continue as we are, with stragglers falling farther and farther behind, or do we gather together here, stash our goods, and march to the end, Lassen's ranch, as a company? Remember, this is October, and most of your mules are dead. Winter will bestow no mercy on the weak or the well-intended. Now, because of this illness, I do not wish to argue about this. We will simply have a vote. How many wish to wait here for those who have fallen behind? How many say no? It's each man for himself. Let the company break apart. Well, for those of you who wish to leave, I will not stop you. Because as of this moment, I resign as your captain. For those few who have elected to stay, I thank you. Your progress will be slower. But thanks to you, more will survive. Still, someone must stay behind to protect the wagons from the wolves, the Indians, and those white men who would steal from their own. The rest of you will go, get fresh mules, and come back. But someone has to stay. Because of this illness, that someone shall be me. No, no. It is my decision to stay. I have not come so far, nor endured so much, to simply abandon my possessions to those white men who would disguise themselves as Indians, to prey upon the weak and the helpless. For you see, it was never the raging rivers, the thunderstorms, the hills, the Indians, the desert, or the disease that made this trip dangerous. It was ourselves. What you see is what we have become when doubt mixes with hardship. Too many forget that gold is a vehicle and not the end of this quest. If when you return you find me dead or killed, please get my drawings and my journals to my family. If these two are destroyed, deliver the following message. I have never regretted this journey, because I've witnessed a land no artist could recreate. Tell them I pursued the gold not out of a lust, but as a door to the future, and the treasure I leave them is the road itself. I hope they will follow it, because it is the journey that teaches the importance of compassion and makes all travelers family. And that is as true today as it will be 100, no, 1,000 years from now. Okay, bring the wagons forward. For all those who elected to leave, our time together is over.
J.G. Bruff is you. He is me. He is everyone who ever tried to make the world a little better place for himself and his family. And therefore, his story deserves to be heard. With period newspapers, photographs, and Bruff's drawings, you are invited to study yourself and your times as Captain Bruff studied himself and his.